Today we're going to be reading a part of my psychology book that I bought for college called Psychology in Your Life, because I know there's a lot of people out there who really would like this book read to you, and I'm a firm believer, I'm a firm believer that knowledge should be free. And I paid a lot for this book, and I am not going to let it go to waste, so I'm going to be recording myself reading the part is my homework. And today, we will be turning our papers to this page. It is page 26, chapter 1, Psychology in Your Life. This is what the book is looking like. It is the 4th edition. A lot of the editions look the same, so just look for the number and you'll find it. And okay, so here's the first part. Formulating a theory. And then there's the next part, developing a testable hypothesis. We'll be reading all this. Hold on. So I'm just telling you the basics. 3rd, test with a research method. 4, analyze the data. Share the results and conduct more research. So what we're doing here is we are learning about the scientific method. And this figure is figure 1.17. And also, let me give you a heads up, I kind of suck at reading sometimes, so I apologize if I stumble. I had a seizure earlier, so just bear with me. 5 steps in the scientific method. Psychologists systematically follow this 5 steps of the cycle of scientific method to find objective information that pertains to their scientific goals. Shown here and are the steps in the scientific method for research and investigations, that effectiveness of repeated practices, learning for exams. I butchered that one. I apologize, guys. Here, let me just move my camera a little bit. There we go. I'm holding my camera, so I apologize. This is my phone. To the topic, such as repeated practices, the results of your searches will reveal whether other scientists have already investigated similar topics. The findings of prior research will help you refine your theory and guide the direction of your study. Bird, what are you doing? That's not an excuse. Get your fat ass down here. Birdie bird. Get on my head. Let me reread that, thank you. To the topic, such as repeated practices, the results of your searches will reveal whether other scientists have already investigated similar topics. Bird, I swear to God. You're making this really hard to read, my guy. I'm gonna leave you over there. Yeah, fuck you. The findings of prior research will help you refine your theory and guide direction to your study. A clearly stated theory is important because it is the basis for step 2 of the scientific method. In this case, let's use information from this chapter and state your theory as, quote, students learn better by repeated practices rather than by rereading information. Hence, why I'm fucking doing a live stream of my homework. Let's test that theory. Bird. Hi. You son of a bitch, get over here. I'm trying to do my homework. It's not an excuse. Get over here. I'm gonna steal your girlfriend. You know what? I'm gonna steal your girlfriend. Get over here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now go time out. Oh, shit. I don't want to hear babies, Barbara. Anywho. Step 2. Develop a testable hypothesis. Birds, I swear to God. Once you have a theory, we're here, by the way, you will need to state your hypothesis with a specific testable prediction about what should be observed and if the theory is accurate. Figure 1.17. 17. Step 2. Any one theory is usually tested by several separate hypotheses across different studies. Every hypothesis is tests and aspects of a theory that is targeting one of the 4 goals of science listed above: describing, predicting, controlling, and explaining. I hope you guys are paying attention. This is getting wild over here. We are here, by the way, in case you didn't know, because I didn't. Anywho, for example, your research may have the goal of simply describing something, such as what study techniques students use or what techniques they think are the best. Your goal may be to predict a relationship between 2 things, such as exam scores, or basically on how much time students spend using certain study methods. Where's my camera? There it is. As another possibility, your goals may be controlled by factors that affect an outcome, such as student study methods, to explain which form of study yields higher exam scores. Each one of these different goals will lead you to develop a different testable hypothesis that is specific to yet goal. Yeah, because that clearly says yet goals. For example, a good hypothesis for a good hypothesis for the goal of controlling students studying to explain which study techniques lead to a better outcome. This might be, quote, students will perform better on exams after repeated practices with information than they will after repeated reading that information. This is clearly the first time I've read of this book, goddammit. Oh, hi, this is my homework, and I'm majoring in psychology, but I want to make psychology not just fun for me, but for everyone else. Thank you for your question, Alina. Step 3! Test with a research method. After you have stated a clear hypothesis, you move to the 3rd step in the scientific method, in which you choose the research method to test your hypothesis. Figure 1.17. Step 3. The 3 main types of research. The main 3 types of research methods you can use are descriptive, whatever that fucking word is, correlational, and experimental. Figure 1.18. Which are explained in detail later in the chapter. The most appropriate research method depends on your goals. The goals of your research and your hypothesis. For example, if your goal and hypothesis are related or describing something such as which study techniques the students think are the best, then you should use descriptive methods. See figure 1.18. Orange box. Orange boxes! However, if the goal and the hypothesis refer to predicting a relationship between 2 things, such as how much time students spend using certain study techniques, like mine for some reason, and their exam scores, then you should use the correlational methods. See figure 1.18. Blue box. Coordination. If your goal and hypothesis are about controlling what causes an outcome, such as how study techniques affect exam scores, then you need to use the experimental method. See figure 1.18, green box. Experimental. Where am I? Am I on the right line? Yes. The research method you use also depends on how much you control, how much control you need over manipulating and measuring certain factors of the study. Each factor, called a variable, is something in the world that can vary, and that the research can manipulate. Hi guys. I'm doing my homework, and I lost my place, so I need to recook, guys. So y'all, for those who are new, Psychology in Your Life, 4th edition. I'm doing my homework today, because college and psychology, and yeah, let's fucking go. And my camera's all shaky, so I apologize. I'm holding my phone. Here, I'm putting it sideways so y'all can see better. Anywho, psychology! I know, right? Let's look at the variable for your experiment. There is a variable you will manipulate, and the variable will measure. Your hypothesis indicates that you will where am I? That you jeez. My seizure did wonders on me, huh? Will manipulate the variable of what study techniques students use. Half of what? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I'm dying, guys. I'm sorry. I need to put my phone somewhere. You know what? I just need to put my book somewhere. Can I have my book up? I am very bad at being a person who reads books, guys. Because that's what makes homework fun. But you don't have time to get distracted, because I get distracted first, and it keeps you engaged. Psychology! Woohoo! Cringe. Yes. Thank you for the person who didn't say that but wanted to. Anywho, let me get my fucking book ready. You put in one banana. I have extra bananas. Here, have a banana for your troubles. Don't shove it anywhere. From the top! Maybe not. This is not far enough backwards. How about this? We'll put it right here, hoping my fingers don't move. Jeez. Baby, I swear to God! What are you doing? What are you doing? Get your fat ass out of the jar, baby! Those are sea rocks! You are not a seagull! You're not even a bagel! Is this what you are? Baby, is this what you are? I thought, now get down here, you seagull. How dare you tell me to fuck you? I will not fuck you, but I will tell you to fuck off. Hey, that's not nice. That's it. Extreme stuff requires extreme measures, guys. Baby! Get down here. Yep. I'm not even gonna give you the count of 3. Get out of the jar. You little shit. Thank you. Ugh. Anyways, we'll go back to studying. Hi. While you guys are munching and crunching, I'm going to go back to this. I'm dying. Fucking A. I'm praying that my phone does not move. Let's look at... We are here, guys. Again. Let's look at the variables for your experiment. There will be variables you will manipulate and a variable you will measure. Your hypothesis indicates that you will manipulate the variable of what study techniques students use. Half of you... Barbara, don't you dare. Half of your participants will engage in repeated reading, in which they will read a passage and then reread it 2 more times. Barbara. They will take an exam of the material. The other half of your participants will read the material and repeated practices with it. On 2 practices. Test before taking an exam on the material to determine whether this is a cause/effect relationship between the study technique and exam scores. You must try to control for other factors, such as the student's academic abilities. To do so, you randomly assign each student... Fuck, I need to take my glasses off. To use one of the study techniques. Doing so will help you ensure that the student's overall grade, point average GPA, is similar to each group, that neither group has better students. In your experiment, the variable that you measure is the participant's performance on the later exam. A difference in exam scores across participants who use different study techniques will suggest whether one study technique was more effective than the other. Jeez, it took like forever to read. Step 4! Analyzing the data! In step 4 of the scientific method, you will analyze the data from your research and to see whether the results support your hypothesis. Figure 1.17, step 4. First, you will summarize the raw data. Then, you mathematically determine whether the differences really exist between the different sets of summarized data. Both of these forms of data analysis are described in... Next page. Appendix. In our example, you will summarize your data by comparing performance to see which group scored higher on the exam. Studies will repeat. Where am I? Repeatedly read or repeatedly practiced. Next, you must decide whether any differences between these conditions were meaningful. That is, you must decide whether they are a result of the factor of interest, study techniques. Hold on, where am I? My phone. There, you guys can see better now. Fucking A. I need to keep my phone. I need a tripod, guys. You will do this or else. let's see where. And here's some more. In our example, you must summarize your data by comparing performance to see which group scored higher on the exam. Students who repeatedly read or repeatedly practiced. Next, you must decide whether any differences. Baby Barbie, you are on a very dangerous ledge there. You cannot fly. You will fall like a fucking potato. I love you. Next, you must decide whether any differences between these conditions were meaningful. That is, you must decide whether they are a result of the factor of interest, study techniques. Or, in other words, you must determine whether you found a significant effect. In this case, you must find a significant effect in the exam scores of the students who repeatedly practiced are higher than the exam scores who choose to repeatedly read the passage. Like this one I've done like 3 fucking times now. This results would suggest that repeated practices is a better study method in general. Unfortunately, some psychologists alter their hypothesis based on their data analysis. This practice is highly discouraged because it is easy to come up with explanations for the data after the fact, but there is little confidence that your explanations is Hold on, where the fuck am I? Let me redo that. In the beginning. In this case, it is important that they report to all of the data and interpretations, not just the results of that are consistent with the hypothesis. Reporting all data increases confidence in the research and the result. Morling and Callan Dagman, 2020. I butchered those words. I apologize. And names. Fucking A. Unethically reporting only the data that supports a hypothesis is called cherry picking. Like most of the Bible. Thank you. And I say that as a Christian. Anywho, let's go back to the first part because I did promise that I would be reading all of this. Anyways, in the scientific method, you must do very specific things, such as formulating a theory. Students learn better when they use certain techniques, like doing this. Or like doing this! Yeah! Cringe sticks better in your head than random bookworming your way through things. You're welcome! Develop a testable hypothesis! Students will perform better on an exam after reporting practices versus repeated rereading. Like this. Mamma mia. Then, test with a research method. Research methods. Your test. Yes, English. Fucking A. You test your hypothesis by selecting the most appropriate research. See study unit 1.9-1.11. You then collect data to evaluate your hypothesis. For example, jeez, my camera's very shaky. In an experiment, you must have some participants. Baby, what the fuck are you doing? That's not an excuse. Get away from the bananas. You ain't getting laid, and you ain't laying bananas today. Leave the scene before it becomes a crime scene, you motherfucker. I know, I just cussed out your girlfriend and cried about it. And yeah, anyways. Where am I? Test your research method from the top. Okay. You test your hypothesis by selecting the most appropriate research method. See Study Units 1.9-1.11. You then collect the data to evaluate your hypothesis. For example, in an experiment, baby, I swear to God. In an experiment, you might have some I swear to God, baby. In an experiment, you might have some participants use repeated practices, and some use repeated rereading before taking an exam. I suck at reading, guys. I apologize. I'm doing better this time. I swear. I swear. I have risen from the dead. Next up, analyzing your data! Data! Yeah, what she said. Yep. You analyze the data by using appropriate Jeez, fucking A. I'm in college. I should know this word. I'm taking English, too. Statistical techniques. I almost said tentacle. Jesus fucking Christ. On a cracker. In the middle of the night. If the data is not supported by your hypothesis, you either discard the theory or reverse it and make plans to test the revision. Whatever the fuck revision means. Here, repeated practices cause a better exam result than repeated rereading. See appendix. 4. For details on the data analysis. Hold on. Appendix. There we go. I did not find much, but it's probably a different appendix. Then we move down to the red box. Share your results and conduct more research. Baby, for fuck's sake, get out of cracker heaven. Jesus fucking Christ, baby. You have been an absolute nuisance this testing experience. Get over here. Let me move some buildings. There we go. Because to you they look like buildings. Birdzilla, everybody. Bird fucking Zilla. Come here. Ah! Victory! You know what? Baby, you're being punished. Yep, I'm punishing your girlfriend. Yep. You are going to birdie jail now. Birdie jail. This is your punishment. Yep. Cry about it. Anyways. Share your results and conduct more research. You share the results with research journals and present them to at conferences. You continue the process by refining your theory and about the value of repeated practices. Make further predictions and test those hypotheses. The aim is to discover whether repeated practices aids learning for many different people across a variety of situations. Struggling is futile, baby. You cannot. You must not resist. Yeah. You cannot. Sorry. Struggling is futile. Baby. Are you gonna behave? You're gonna behave. There. I'll let you behave. Please stop interrupting my homework. Please. Can you apologize to the camera so that I say sorry? I won't distract Lou anymore. Coward. Anyways. Bird. Helmet. Oh, yes. Then types of research methods. They involve correlational methods, deceptive methods, experimental methods, case studies. In the yellow spot that I read first, observational studies, and self-reports. We'll start at the very top, ladies and gentlemen. A shaky camera. That's where we start. Correlational methods. Test of the relationship between variables. Example, what is the relationship between how much time studied English? Fuck. Let me reset that. Restart that. Fucking A. Examples. What is the relationship between how much time students spend using certain study methods and their later exam scores? Let's go to the left, guys, because politics. Descriptive methods. Describe what is occurring. Example, what study techniques do students believe are the best? Hello there, my good sir. And then we go to the green in the far right in the extremist category. Experimental methods. Investigate what causes an outcome. Example, which study techniques result in the best exam scores possible? As I don't know if this is gonna work. What I am doing for this whole half an hour, I'm hoping I'm teaching somebody something. College! I've never been to college before. I'm hoping this works. Case studies, in the far left category. Let's go. Let's dig our gay heels into the case studies. Hell yeah. Allow in-depth investigation of one or a few people in our English, let me redo that. Case studies allow in-depth investigation of one or a few people or in an organization. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, English. And then we go over here. Observational studies allow researchers to fucking A. Okay. Observational studies allow researcher to watch what participants do in a natural environment or in a laboratory. I really hope my English teacher can fix me. Self-reports in the next to it, yeah. So it looks like this, guys. And also, I forgot to mention, we are on page 27 of how do you benefit from psychological research? I feel like I am imposing psychological warfare on people for the past 33 minutes. Self-reports! Use service to question narratives or interviews to gather information directly from participants. It is genius! This includes our live stream for the day. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful studying at FL motherfucking CC.